sprint. So, you know, me and John competed together in 2007. It was my first year competing, and it was at the Easterns, and I got dead last. Dead last. John, what did you place?
Second.
Second. He did very well. Worked my butt. And, you know, I didn't go and say, you know what, that's it, I'm done. Or, you know what, next year I'm going to turn pro. From 2007, I turned pro 2011. We actually both turned pro 2011. And it's, take your time, you go back, you know, you train hard, you eat right. It's about taking your time. Too many people these days, they want to, you know, overnight get a pro card. Oh, I'm doing my first show, and my second show I'm going to turn pro, or, you know, it's like, it doesn't happen like that. You know, it takes, like, there are some people that are exceptional and it happens, but that's like a 1% out of, you know, out of 100. So, you know, I mean, just everybody, take your time, train hard, take it year by year, and trust me, I mean, if you do everything that you're supposed to be doing, following your diet, you know, doing your cardio, training hard, you will get to where you want to go. I'm gonna let John talk a little bit.
What's going on, guys? So everybody starts differently, right? I was very fortunate to have a father who was into the health and fitness lifestyle from the louder. Sorry, guys. So everybody starts different, right? I was very fortunate to have a father who was living the health and fitness lifestyle from when he was very young as well. So we started differently. Like I said, he's walking around here somewhere actually. His name is William. But anyway, so my dad got me into bodybuilding at a very, very young age. I was watching Mr. Olympia's on his lap as a baby. He didn't really watch any other sports. It was only bodybuilding. So, you know, I'm actually living my dream, but it doesn't mean that it happened overnight. Like Juan was saying, I mean, I remember being 14 years old, building a gym in my dad's garage, and having all the weights and training my ass off and eating right and taking protein shakes, and it still just came slowly. And I remember, I think it was 2009, I won the Junior Nationals. And it was like the highlight of my career. I couldn't believe I won it.
I also placed ninth.
Juan placed ninth at that show. So it was the highlight of my career at the moment, and I couldn't believe I won it. Actually, Sergio Oliva Sr. was in the crowd. I couldn't believe he was there watching. It was Father's Day. I promised my dad that I would win that for him, and I actually did. And then the very next year, I went to nationals as one of the, I guess, the front runners in my weight class. And I got absolutely demolished at that show. I was dead last. And at that point, I was like, man, it was my first time on the national level stage. At that point, I was like crushed, because here I am, I grew up all my life wanting to be a bodybuilder, training hard, meal after meal, cardio after cardio, training session after training session, and I got crushed, and it really made me think, like, am I made for this? Am I supposed to be doing this? And I was going to college at the time, and just putting everything I could into this bodybuilding career that I wanted to build. And I remember my dad told me, I was crying my eyes out in the bathroom. He came in and he was like, look, this is something that is for the rest of your life. On stage, off stage, I mean, we all love to compete, right? But at the end of the day, we're all living a healthy lifestyle, right? I mean, for me, that's one of the greatest benefits of doing this, is that I get to, you look good, but you feel good as well, right? So I said, you know what? He's right. I'm just gonna go back to the drawing board. I'm gonna keep working hard. And I'm far from where I want to be, guys. You know, there's times in my prep where I'm like, man, how am I gonna ever get to the Mr. Olympia and be like Jay Cutler, right? He's one of the greatest Mr. Olympias of all time. How am I ever, I mean, he still looks fucking great. How am I ever gonna look like that? You know, how am I gonna, you know, get to that level? But I think if you keep that drive, just keep one foot in front of the other, keep working day after day, eventually you'll reach your goals. It may not be tomorrow, it may not be next year, it may not be 10 years, but again, if you remember why you're doing this, you want to feel good, you want to look good, just keep working towards it, and get on stage and keep pushing yourself and, you know, being your best. I think that's all we can do, right? So if you guys have any questions, What was that? Oh, right now I'm eating like a bird. I'm getting ready for the army right now, so I eat a lot of eggs, egg whites, chicken, I eat haddock for fish, oatmeal, rice. Well, the key to growing, right, we're all in the gym, we're all training, but the key to growing, right, is how much you're going to be able to eat. And it's not just stuff on your face with whatever whatever's in front of you. It's eating quality foods that are going to, help you recover, help you grow. And I think we all know what good foods are, right? I mean, you're not going to...
When you're trying to grow, you can't be scared to eat. Nowadays, everybody's trying to stay lean, and they want to keep a six-pack year-round and look great for Instagram and your pictures. When you're trying to put on weight, you're trying to put on muscle, you have to eat. Like you said, it doesn't have to be crap, it could be good food. I'm known for eating a lot of crap when I'm in the off-season. Everybody's different, but as long as you're getting good quality meals and just eat, and the scale's going up, you have to eat. You want to grow, you have to eat. There's no way around that.
That's actually a good point. So his metabolism and my metabolism, where we process foods are totally different. If I eat like Juan, for the most part, because he eats good as well, but what you guys see on YouTube, he does sometimes. It's not all the time. Everybody gets confused. Like, oh my God, he eats like that every day. It's not every day. But if I were to eat like that, I would be a fat pig. So again, I was raised on chicken and rice. My father was a bodybuilder. That's what I know. But if I were to eat any differently, I'd put on fat easily. So you have to be aware of what your body responds well to, if that makes any sense. Yep. How far am I from? Oh, well, I pose all year round. I like posing. Truth be told, I hate being on stage by myself. Like the competitive aspect of competing, being lined up with guys, I love that. I want to be able to show my best. But when I'm doing my routine, I'm very shy and it's not really my thing. But I pose all year round, the athletes, right? So it's important that when your time is up, you got to know how to show your physique. So I think it's important to pose all year round, whether you're off season, on season. Just know like where your body's, how your body's supposed to feel when you're in a certain pose. Anybody else? Yep.
I just wanted to know, I'm someone that gets injured a lot, so I'm trying to...
Why are you getting injured, right? You're probably going to look at how you're training, right? Maybe you're training too heavy. That's one of the things I've learned being a pro. You want to push, right? But you don't want to be reckless when you're training because you're going to get injured. So that's probably the first thing you want to do. The second thing is, I think that's huge, and I know it's a little costly, but if you can get like some kind of massage therapy or that's really important. Or a trainer, right? Acupuncture, I'm not crazy about it, but I've done it. That's definitely one thing, but any type of like physical therapy, massage therapy, you can do that because it's really beneficial, but also you want to make sure you're resting enough. Anybody else? Yep.
Waist. What kind of tips do you have to keep it tight or shrink it?
Well, you want
All right, so everybody's different. Bodybuilders, I'm known to have a small waist. What do I do different than a lot of other bodybuilders do? I don't think it's nothing, but I also, when I walk around, I keep my stomach tight. I don't, like some people, they just let it hang all the time, and they just, as guys, they just want to chill and, just feel like let the gut hang. Me, it doesn't matter if I'm in the off season, pre-contest, I'm always keeping my stomach tight. I'm, holding it in. So for me, that's I'm not flexing it, but I'm pulling it in. So I'm always, for me, this is something that feels natural. When I'm lifting, I'm actually doing the same thing. I'm pulling it in. So for me, it's natural for my stomach to be flat, as opposed to, like when I'm on stage and people see me transitioning to pose, they never see my stomach hang out. Can it hang out? Yes, of course it can. But I'm so used to practicing and keeping it tight 24/7 year round that my stomach, I never have that distension because I practice and keeping it nice and flat. So that's just something that works for me.
I think for me, what I practiced through the years is definitely that, learning to breathe through your diaphragm through the day, keep your core tight. Definitely training your abs more often. Like a lot of people, when they're not getting on stage, they stop training their core. I think that's a mistake. But also, you know, I don't know if you guys have ever seen, I'm sure you have the Arnold Encyclopedia, right? If you guys remember, there's a picture of him sitting on a stool and practicing vacuums. I think that's one of the things that everybody should be practicing, right? It really does help you engage different muscles instead of just squeezing down your abs and thinking that that's going to hold your stomach in. The other thing that I learned through the years is that when we do like big lifts, squats, deadlifts, things like that, we tend to take a big deep breath, right? You build all this pressure into your stomach. And then when you go to actually lift, that pressure just goes more, and I think that's a huge mistake. I think controlling your breathing through your workout is probably one of the biggest things that a lot of people just forget.